Stop everything you're doing right now, my beloved child. Breathe. In this exact moment, I have drawn you here, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine appointment. You may not know it yet, but this is sacred ground. This message is not for everyone, but if you hear it, it is for you. You've been searching, haven't you? Looking for a sign. Wondering if anyone sees your struggle. Here's the silent cries of your soul. Wonder no more. Because I do. I see it all. You are not forgotten. Even if the world seems to spin too fast, even if your prayers have echoed in silence for what feels like years, hear me now, I have not left you. I have been closer than your very breath. You may feel alone in the midnight hour, lying awake, afraid of what tomorrow may bring, but my presence has surrounded you like a blanket in the cold. You are wrapped in my love. You don't need to pretend with me. You don't have to wear the smile when your heart is aching. I see beyond the surface. I know the weight you carry, the disappointment that haunts your mornings, the grief that grips your evenings. My child, it's okay to not have all the answers. You were never meant to carry it all alone. That's why I am here. You've said it before, haven't you? God, where are you? And now, I say to you, I am here. I was there in the doctor's office when you heard the news that broke your world. I was there when you stared at your bank account in fear, when the friend walked away, when the job disappeared, when the storm came, and it seemed like there was no end in sight. I never abandoned you. You only couldn't see me through the tears. But I was right beside you, holding your hand, whispering peace, waiting for this moment when your heart would slow down enough to hear my voice. So hear me now. I am the God who sees. I see your tears, and they are sacred to me. Psalm 56 verse 8 says I collect each one in a bottle. I remember every whispered prayer. Every time you said, Lord, help me, even when no one else was around to hear, I heard it. And not only did I hear, I moved. Even when you didn't see the change, I was shifting things behind the curtain. What you call a delay, I call divine timing. What you call silence, I call preparation. I am not just the God of answers. I am the God of perfect timing. Don't be afraid. Isaiah 41 verse 10, Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That is not just a verse, it's a lifeline. That's me, speaking directly to you today. This is not the end of your story. It feels like a full stop, but I have only placed a comma. What looks like failure is just a redirection. What feels like abandonment is the making of something new. My child, even in the fire, I am with you. Ask the 3 men in the furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The fire did not consume them, because I stood with them. And just as I stood with them, I now stand with you. You are not in the fire alone. You may feel like you're surrounded by flames of fear, of loss, of uncertainty, but you are not consumed. You are being refined. And when the smoke clears, you will walk out not even smelling like smoke. Your scars will tell stories of survival, not shame. Because I'm turning your pain into purpose. I'm turning your sorrow into strength. The storm is not the end, it's the evidence that I'm still with you, calming waves even as they rage. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope, Jeremiah 29 verse 11. I'm not just getting you through, I'm lifting you up. My beloved, it's not your job to know how. It's not your burden to figure out the when. Your only call is to trust me. Trust in my heart, even when you can't trace my hand. I am still working. There are things in your life that didn't happen the way you hoped. Doors that closed. Relationships that fell apart. Dreams that seemed too far gone. But I tell you, nothing is wasted in my hands. I use broken pieces to build miracles. I use what the world throws away to raise the mighty. Look at David, a shepherd boy made king. Look at Ruth, a widow turned into the lineage of the Savior. Look at you, wounded, tired, confused, and yet chosen. Yes, you are chosen. I chose you before the foundation of the world. I saw every day of your life before one of them came to be. I called you by name. And I still do. Even in your mess. Even in your fear. Even in your failure. I am not scared of your weakness. I am not overwhelmed by your doubt. Bring it all to me. Lay it down. You don't need to clean yourself up first. You don't need the right words. You don't even need to understand what's happening. Just come. Because I am here. Right now. In this very second, my spirit surrounds you. Feel the shift. The peace that begins to rise. That's not imagination. That's me. The God who walked on water. The God who healed the leper. The God who fed the thousands. The God who called Lazarus out of the grave. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I am still moving. So here's what I want you to know today, you are not alone. Not in the hospital bed. Not in the middle of the night. Not in your car while you cry in silence. Not in the prayer that feels like it's going nowhere. I am there. I am near to the brokenhearted. I save those who are crushed in spirit, Psalm 34 verse 18. That's not poetry. That's reality. That's who I am. And so now, take this first step with me. Breathe again. Let go of what you cannot control. Lift your eyes, not to the chaos, but to me, the creator of heaven and earth. I'm holding it all. And I'm holding you. I've never let go. And I never will. Come with me now, deeper. Let's walk into the next part of this together. There's more I want to show you. There's more healing waiting. There's more peace ahead. Let me ask you something now, child of my heart. Have you ever cried out to me and felt only silence in return? Have you ever whispered a prayer so fragile, so desperate, only to be met with stillness? Have you ever looked around and thought, maybe God forgot me? If that question has ever crept into your spirit, know this, you are not alone in feeling that way. Even my beloved ones in Scripture, those whose names you now honor, had their seasons of silence. Even David, the man after my own heart, once said, "How long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever?" But he was not forgotten. And neither are you. There is a silence that does not mean absence, it means I'm doing something deeper, something eternal, something that cannot be rushed. You see, while you wait, I work. Your heart might ache with unanswered prayers, and that ache is real. I do not ignore it. I sit in it with you. And yet I ask you gently, do you trust me even when I am quiet? Because in the quiet, I am crafting. In the silence, I am shaping. What you call waiting, I call weaving. Like a master weaver, I am intertwining your heartbreak with my healing, your past with my promise, your pain with my purpose. You can't see the full picture now, but when it's revealed, you'll understand why the silence was necessary. Because growth doesn't happen in noise. Roots grow deep in silence, in darkness, underground. And so does your faith. My child, don't confuse my silence with my absence. I am in every breath you take. I am in every moment your heart keeps beating. I sustain you, even when you don't feel sustained. I carry you when your legs give out from beneath you. When you're too tired to pray, I intercede for you. When you're too weary to hope, I whisper hope into your soul. You are not forgotten, you are fiercely loved. And love does not walk away in the valley. Love steps in deeper. Let me tell you what I've seen in you, strength you didn't know you had. Resilience that bloomed in seasons of drought. Faith that flickered but never went out. You see yourself as fragile, but I see you as fire. I see you as someone who has walked through shadows but kept walking. You're still here, and that alone is a victory. Do not measure yourself by the battles you've lost, but by the truth that you're still standing. That means you are victorious in ways you haven't even realized. Remember Joseph? The boy with dreams. Betrayed. Sold. Forgotten. Years in prison. No answers. Just shadows. But through it all, I was with him. And in my timing, I brought him from the prison to the palace. Not because he was perfect. Not because he never doubted. But because he held on. My beloved, hold on. You're closer than you think. Don't let go of the rope now. It may look like nothing is changing, but what you cannot see is the breakthrough beneath the surface. The roots are spreading. The seeds are breaking open. And soon, yes, very soon, you'll see fruit. I know your heart is tired. I know the waiting has worn you down. But let me remind you, eagles don't soar by flapping harder. They soar by resting in the wind. Rest in me. Let my strength lift you. Stop striving. Let go of the pressure to fix everything. That's my job. Yours is to trust. And if you don't know how to trust right now, then just rest in my love. That's enough. You've asked me, why is this happening? And while I may not give you every answer today, I give you myself. I give you my presence. And my presence is peace. I am not a God who watches from afar. I am Emmanuel, God with you. I weep when you weep. I rejoice when you rejoice. I am not ashamed of your brokenness. In fact, it draws me closer. Like the woman who touched the hem of my robe, you may feel unworthy to approach, but hear me, just one touch of faith, even trembling faith, moves my heart. Come closer. I know the world has disappointed you. People have betrayed you. Maybe you've even been hurt by those who claim to represent me. And for that pain, I grieve with you. I never endorsed their cruelty. Their wounds are not my will. So let me heal what they broke. Let me show you who I truly am, not religion, not rules, not shame, but love, raw and pure, and powerful enough to rebuild every shattered place inside of you. You are more than your mistakes. You are more than the scars you carry. You are my handiwork. My masterpiece. I don't make accidents. I make miracles. And I'm not finished with you yet. What you see as a failure, I see as a foundation. I'm not building a temporary comfort, I'm constructing eternal strength. So listen to me now, do not give up. I repeat, do not give up. You are walking through the valley, but you are not staying there. There is light ahead. There is joy ahead. There are answers, and healing, and restoration that will astound you. But you must keep walking. Even if it's slow. Even if you're crawling. Just don't stop. Because your breakthrough may be just one step further. Let my word be your anchor. Psalm 34 verse 18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Let that be tattooed on your soul. I am not just near, I am holding you together. Romans 8 verse 28, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him. Not just the good things. Not just the joyful moments. But all things. Even this pain. Even this season. Even the pieces that feel unusable, especially those. I am the God of resurrection. And resurrection always comes after the grave. So yes, it may feel like death right now, death of a dream, of a relationship, of a future you once hoped for, but resurrection is coming. Do not bury what I plan to raise. Trust my timing. Trust my process. I do not waste suffering. And if you've been praying and feel like I'm not listening, know this, I've bottled every tear. I've read every word. And I am responding, not in your timeline, but in the fullness of time. Miracles don't always look like what you expect. Sometimes, the greatest miracle is the peace I give in the middle of chaos. Sometimes, the miracle is that you're still standing, still breathing, still believing even with a broken heart. That kind of faith moves mountains. So stay with me. Lean into me. And let me speak life over you once again. You are not alone. You never were. And you never will be. Because I, the Lord your God, go with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I will carry you. I have made you, and I will sustain you. I will rescue you. And now, child of mine, let's walk together even further. Let's go deeper still. There is more ahead, not more pain, but more promise. And I am not done showing you the beauty I've been preparing behind the scenes. You've been strong for so long, haven't you? Carrying everything on your own shoulders, holding your family together when you felt like falling apart, speaking words of encouragement to others when your own heart was bleeding inside. You've learned to smile through the storm, to push forward even when your soul was weary, but I see behind that strength, and I know how heavy it's been. You've learned to be the answer for others, but I want to be the answer for you. I want you to know that it's okay to rest in me. It's okay to say, God, I can't do this anymore. Because you were never meant to do this alone. You weren't created to carry burdens that were only meant for my hands. That anxiety, that fear, that sense of not being enough, I never asked you to hold them. Lay them at my feet. Let me trade your restlessness for peace. Let me trade your striving for grace. There's a lie you've believed for too long, that your worth depends on your performance, on how, together, you appear, on how much you can produce, fix, or accomplish. But I never measured you by your productivity. I see your heart, not your resume. I see your tears, not your to-do list. I see your effort when no one else claps for it. I see your integrity in the quiet places, your faithfulness when no one is watching. I see the battle you fight just to get out of bed some days. And I want you to hear this, not from a preacher, not from a post, but from me. I am proud of you. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are, mine. Even when you feel lost. Especially when you feel lost. You see, the world may celebrate big moments, achievements, promotions, victories, but I celebrate your quiet obedience. Your whispered prayers. Your tears offered up like worship. That moment you chose forgiveness when bitterness would have been easier. That time you said, God, I trust you, even when you didn't understand. That, my child, is holy. And I honor it. And now I want you to know, healing is not always sudden. Sometimes it's a slow return. A breath at a time. A step at a time. And that's okay. I'm not in a hurry with your heart. I won't rush the process. I'll walk with you in it. I'll meet you in the middle of it. You don't need to be better to be loved by me. You are loved right here, right now, in your process, in your pain, in your progress. You are not disqualified. You are being rebuilt. When the enemy whispers, you'll always be this broken, I will shout the truth louder, I am making all things new. When your past says, you'll never overcome this, I will remind you, I've already overcome the world. You don't belong to your shame. You belong to me. You are not your trauma. You are not your lowest moment. You are not the names others have called you, or the lies you've told yourself in your darkest hour. You are mine. I have called you by name. And in me, you are safe. So let the walls fall. Let the armor crack. Let the tears fall freely. I am not afraid of your pain. I am not uncomfortable with your questions. I will sit with you in the confusion, I will hold you when you're trembling, I will sing over you in your sorrow. Zephaniah 3 verse 17 says I rejoice over you with singing. Yes, even now, in this very moment. Heaven is not distant. Heaven is holding you close. And when you feel like faith is slipping through your fingers, know that I'm still holding on. I'm not letting go. I'm not disappointed in your weakness. I'm not surprised by your doubts. I am your shepherd. I leave the 99 to find the one. And today, I came for you. Maybe you've spent your life trying to earn love, trying to prove your value, trying to finally feel like you're enough. But love isn't something you have to earn from me. It's your inheritance. It's your birthright as my child. And no failure, no fear, no flaw can remove you from my love. Romans 8 verses 38 to 39 says that nothing in all creation, neither death nor life, angels nor demons, fears for today nor worries about tomorrow, can separate you from my love. Let that truth wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let it sink into the coldest parts of your heart. You are not alone. And you are not forgotten. And you are not finished. There are still prayers I will answer. There are still dreams I will awaken. There are still miracles with your name on them. But more than that, there is me. And I am enough for you, even when everything else falls away. Even when you're standing in the ashes. Even when all you have left is a whisper of hope, I will take that whisper and breathe life into it again. You see, I am the God who brings beauty from ashes. I am the one who takes what was meant to destroy you and turns it into a testimony. I don't erase your pain, I redeem it. I don't pretend the wounds don't exist, I heal them. And I will use every piece of your story for good. So hold on, beloved. Not to your strength, but to mine. Not to your plan, but to my purpose. Not to what the world says, but to what I say. And I say, you are enough. You are loved. You are mine. Now come with me just a little further. There's still more to show you. The story's not over. In fact, it's only just beginning. And I know there are moments when even breathing feels like effort. You look around at others and wonder how they seem to move forward with such ease, while you feel like you're drowning silently beneath the surface. You've learned to function through the pain, to smile at strangers while hiding a storm inside. And I want you to know, I am not only aware, I am moved. I'm not the kind of God who watches from a distance. I step into the pain. I wrap my presence around the aching parts of your heart. I walk into the storm and I sit with you there, not asking you to be strong, but simply inviting you to be with me. Because it's in your weakness that my strength is made perfect. It's in your surrender that my power flows the deepest. I never asked you to impress me, I asked you to trust me. Even if all you can do is whisper, Jesus, help me, that is more than enough. You've spent years being strong for everyone else. But who holds you? Who comforts the one who comforts all? I do. I am the one who sees the unseen. I am the Father who notices every sigh, every unspoken fear, every night you cried yourself to sleep without a sound. I was there when you sat in silence hoping someone, anyone, would notice the weight you carried. And now I say to you, I noticed. I still do. And I won't let your pain pass through time unnoticed. I am the God who records every tear, who turns weeping into rejoicing, who knows how to bring beauty out of ashes. So even though you've been walking through a wilderness, I am the well that will never run dry. Come and drink. Come and rest. Come and let me be the God of your healing, not just your theology. Let me be real to you again. You see, trauma has a way of convincing you that even God is distant. But I am not your trauma. I am not the silence that followed your scream. I am not the betrayal that broke your trust. I am not the voice that said, you're too broken to be loved. I am the voice that created you. I am the voice that called you good before the world ever had a chance to call you anything else. And I'm speaking again now, not with thunder or lightning, but with gentle compassion, with unshakable kindness, with the love that knit you together in the secret place. I am not the storm. I am the stillness after. And I'm inviting you now, not to perform, but to rest. Not to prove, but to receive. You don't have to strive to be spiritual enough. You already belong. Your soul was made for me, and I've never stopped pursuing you. Even if you've walked away, I haven't. Even if you've doubted me, I've still believed in you. Even if you've questioned everything, my love has remained constant. And now, you're here, not because the algorithm brought you, not because of random chance, but because my spirit gently guided you to this exact moment. I've been calling you back into intimacy, back into safety, back into arms that never get tired of holding you. I've seen the cracks in your armor. I've heard the doubts behind your worship. I know the battle that no one else knows. And I still choose you. Again. And again. And again. Do you remember the woman at the well? The one the world avoided? The one whose shame weighed heavier than her water jar? I came to her when no one else would. I didn't wait for her to clean up her story. I stepped into it. I told her everything she'd ever done, not to shame her, but to show her I still saw her as worthy of love. She came to get water, but she left with living water. And that's what I'm offering you now. Not religion. Not rules. Not guilt. But life. Flowing from me to the driest parts of your soul. And when you think about the future and feel only fear, when the uncertainty of tomorrow feels louder than the peace of today, let me remind you that I am already in your tomorrow. I don't just walk beside you, I go ahead of you. I clear the path. I protect the way. You're not walking blind. You're walking guided. Even if it feels like you're stumbling, every step you've taken has been surrounded by grace. You may have thought you were lost, but I was leading you through places your spirit needed to pass, so that when you arrive, you won't just arrive healed, but transformed. I am not preparing a comfortable life for you, I am preparing a life of depth, of meaning, of eternal significance. I know you want things to be easier. I know you long for answers. But sometimes the greater gift is presence, not clarity. And my presence is with you now. That presence that calms the storm, that stills the heart, that whispers in the night, I am here. You are mine. You are safe. Let your heart believe it again. Let faith rise, not because everything makes sense, but because I make sense of everything in time. Let me breathe into your weary soul. Let me remind you why you're still here, not just to survive, but to shine. Not just to get through it, but to carry others through it too. Because when you are healed, you will be healing for others. When you rise, you'll lift others too. Your story is not a detour. It's a destiny unfolding. And I'm not done with you yet. There is still glory ahead. There is still goodness to taste in the land of the living. And I promise you, what the enemy meant for evil, I will turn for good. What the world tried to bury, I will resurrect. You may not see it yet. But child, trust me, it's already begun. I know that sometimes the hardest battle is the one no one else sees. You walk through your day smiling politely, replying with, I'm fine, when someone asks how you're doing, but deep down, you're screaming for someone to truly see you. You wonder if anyone would still love you if they knew the full story, the truth behind your silence, the memories you try to bury under your busyness. And I want to tell you now, I already know. Every detail. Every moment you regret. Every thought you're too afraid to say aloud. I know it all, and I have not turned away. In fact, I have leaned in closer. You don't scare me. You don't disappoint me. I am not ashamed of you. I am your refuge, not your judge. I am your healer, not your accuser. My beloved, you can stop running. You can stop pretending. You can let your walls down now. I am not coming to crush you. I'm coming to carry you. I know the nights that haunt you. I know the faces you can't forget. I know the burdens that your heart was never built to carry. And I know how tired you are. But listen to me. You're not weak because you're tired. You're not broken because you've cried. You're human. And I created that humanity. I know its limits. That's why I gave you myself. That's why I told you to come to me when you're weary and burdened, not when you're perfect, not when you've figured it all out, but when you're falling apart. Because in your breaking, I begin my building. In your weakness, my strength is revealed. And I have never once been disappointed in your need for me. The world may have taught you to be ashamed of your weakness, but I rejoice in it, because it means your heart is still soft, still open, still reachable. I can work with that. I can breathe life into that. Do you remember Elijah, my prophet? He called down fire from heaven, stood with boldness before kings, and yet not long after, he found himself under a tree, crying out to die. Even the strongest of my children can feel like giving up. And I did not rebuke him for that, I fed him. I let him sleep. I whispered to him not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in the gentle breeze. That is how I come to you now. Not with force, but with tenderness. Not with condemnation, but with compassion. Not with commands, but with comfort. I see your effort. I see how you show up even when your heart is heavy. I see how you keep praying, even when your prayers feel dry. I see the way you keep trying to be present for others, even when your soul feels absent. And I want you to hear me now, your consistency in the dark is a kind of worship. You are worshiping with your endurance. You are loving me with your staying power. And that is holy. Some of you have lost people you loved, and the grief is still fresh. Maybe it's been months, maybe years, but it still hurts to breathe sometimes. You still wake up reaching for someone who's not there. You still have moments where you think, they should be here for this. And I want to tell you, I grieve with you. I am not distant from your loss. I wept when Lazarus died, even though I knew I would raise him. Why? Because your pain matters to me. Your tears matter. I am not only the God of eternity, I am the God of this moment. And in this moment, you are seen. Your grief is not a burden to me. It's a doorway I gently step through, to sit beside you and say, I'm here. I'm here for every memory that still stings. I'm here for every milestone that feels empty. I'm here in the silence, when no one else knows what to say. I am the one who knows how to comfort in ways words never could. And if you've been through betrayal, if trust has been shattered in your life, know that I saw it all. The things they said behind your back. The promises they broke. The way they looked at you like you were disposable. I saw how much it cost you to forgive. I saw how hard it was to not grow bitter. And I want you to know, I am the God who restores. I will restore to you what was lost. I will give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, praise for despair. But you must give me the ashes first. Let go of the version of the past you wish had happened. Let me write a new story, not because what happened was good, but because I am good enough to redeem it. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. It means choosing freedom over bondage. It means releasing what you cannot change so I can bring what only I can give, healing. There's a reason the enemy fights you so hard. It's because you carry something valuable. You carry purpose. You carry light. You carry the image of your Creator. And when you rise, others rise with you. That's why the battles have felt relentless, because your story is dangerous to darkness. Your survival is a testimony. Your healing is a declaration. Every time you chose kindness over hate, every time you chose love over revenge, every time you chose hope over despair, you punched holes in the kingdom of darkness. And I celebrate that. I celebrate you. Now let me ask you this, can you believe again? Can you hope again? Can you trust again? Even if it's with trembling hands and a bruised heart, can you dare to believe that I'm still working, still moving, still writing stories of redemption and resurrection? Because I am. And you're not too late. You're not too far. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't messed up beyond repair. You are still in my hands. And these hands don't drop what they hold. So hold on, beloved. Just a little longer. Breakthrough is closer than it's ever been. Light is about to pour through the cracks. And I promise, it will all be worth it. There are moments when even faith feels like a fragile thread, when the prayers you whisper feel like they're hitting a wall, when even the act of believing feels exhausting. And maybe you've been there lately, somewhere between hope and despair, caught in a place where your heart wants to believe but your mind keeps bringing up the pain. I understand. You've been let down before. People have made promises and broken them. Life has given you more questions than answers. And somewhere along the way, you began to wonder if I was really listening. You love me, but you don't always feel me. You believe in me, but you've stopped expecting anything good to come. You sing the songs, but your spirit is quiet. And here's what I want you to know, I do not reject your tired faith. I do not condemn your flickering hope. I treasure it. I cradle it. I breathe upon it gently. I am not angry that you're struggling. I am near because you are. I never asked for perfect faith. I asked for a willing heart. And you still have that. That's why you're here. That's why you're reading this. Something deep inside you still longs for me. And that longing is enough for me to begin again. Don't measure your closeness to me by your emotions. Feelings are not always truth. My love is not based on your mood, your performance, or your record. It's based on my covenant. And I do not break covenant. I am not like them. I do not lie. I do not abandon. I do not change my mind about you. I know there are wounds that have festered for years, old betrayals, family trauma, rejection that left you quietly doubting your own worth. I know how hard you've tried to be strong, to move on, to pretend that time alone would heal it. But now the ache has surfaced again, and you don't know what to do with it. Here's what you do, you bring it to me. Bring the raw, unedited, unfiltered version of yourself. You don't need to fix your heart before you let me in. I heal what is open. I reach into what is exposed. I mend what is surrendered. And I will not shame your scars. I will kiss them into something sacred. Some of the battles you've faced weren't just about circumstance, they were spiritual. The heaviness wasn't just stress, it was warfare. The doubt didn't just come from logic. It came from an enemy who knows the power of your voice, the weight of your calling, the fire that burns inside your spirit. That's why the attacks were so relentless. That's why it felt like everything was being stripped away, because the enemy was hoping you'd break, hoping you'd shut down, hoping you'd stop believing. But here you are. Still breathing. Still reaching. Still hoping, even if it's just a whisper. That kind of resilience terrifies the darkness. That's the kind of spirit I dwell in. And for those of you who have fallen, who've made mistakes that left you ashamed, I know the voices that play in your head. You knew better. You failed again. You're not worthy. But I want you to hear my voice now, louder than all the rest. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are mine. My mercy does not run out. My grace is not shallow. When I say, I will remember your sins no more, I mean it. I don't bring up what you've already brought to the cross. I don't hold you hostage to your history. You are not your worst decision. You are not your weakest moment. You are redeemed. You are washed. You are being made new. And no voice of hell has the authority to label what I have renamed. Maybe you've been walking through something no one else understands. Maybe the loneliness has gotten so loud that you've started to believe it. But let me tell you something holy, loneliness does not mean you are unloved. Isolation does not mean you are abandoned. Sometimes, I allow you to be pulled away from the crowd so you can hear me without interference. Sometimes, the wilderness is not punishment, it's preparation. The same way I led Moses to the desert, Elijah to the cave, John the Baptist into the wilderness, I've brought you to a quiet place, not to punish you, but to speak gently to you, to rebuild you, to fortify you for the road ahead. You haven't been left behind. You've been set apart. And yes, I know the ache of waiting. I know how many nights you've gone to bed with tears on your pillow because the breakthrough still hasn't come. I know how heavy the silence feels when you've been faithful, when you've done everything you knew how to do, and it still feels like doors remain closed. But hear me clearly, my silence is never absence. My "not yet" is not the same as "no," my delays are not denials. What you're calling a season of disappointment, I'm calling a season of development. I'm building roots where you wanted fruits. Because what I'm about to birth in you will not be easily shaken. There is still so much ahead. There are still people waiting on the version of you that's rising from this. There are still assignments with your name on them. There are still places your feet have yet to tread that are already marked with my promises. You are not finished. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. If you're still breathing, I'm still building. If you're still here, I still have plans. And the end will be far greater than the beginning. So don't give up, beloved. Not now. Not here. You are so much closer than you realize. You've survived what was meant to destroy you. You've walked through fire and come out refined. You've faced darkness and kept your soul intact. And I will not let this be wasted. I will not let your tears be meaningless. I will restore what was stolen. I will return what was lost. I will fulfill what I have spoken. Let your heart breathe again. Let your hope come out of hiding. Let your faith rise from the ashes. I am not done. And neither are you. You've made it here. Through the silence. Through the questions. Through the storm that threatened to undo you. You didn't give up. You didn't walk away. And even if you tried, even if you doubted, even if you wanted to run, I never let go of you. I held you through it all. And I want you to know, with all of heaven bearing witness, this is not your ending. This is your turning point. I am rewriting the narrative that pain tried to define you by. I am reclaiming every chapter that shame tried to close. I am lifting you now, not because you earned it, not because you performed well, but because you are mine. I don't rescue based on perfection. I rescue based on love. And I love you more than words can carry. So much that I gave everything, so that you would never again feel alone. So that you would never again wonder if you mattered. You do. To me. Right now. Just as you are. Let me speak this over you again, and let it echo through the halls of your soul. Do not be afraid. I am with you. Do not be discouraged. I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's not just a promise from Isaiah 41 verse 10. That's a promise from my heart to yours. You felt like the ground was shifting under your feet, but I have been the rock beneath it all. When others left, I remained. When fear screamed, I whispered peace. When the future looked dark, I lit a candle and waited for you to see it. And now, that light is growing. Now, the darkness is breaking. You are walking into a season of renewal. Not just healing, but restoration. Not just survival, but revival. You will see prayers answered in ways you never imagined. You will watch doors open that no one can shut. You will look back on this valley not with bitterness, but with awe, because you will know I carried you through. You will say, if it wasn't for the Lord, I would have been lost. And yes, that's the truth. But you're not lost. You're found. You're home. In me. Now breathe. Not with fear, but with hope. Hope that is not based on the outcome, but on me, the author and finisher of your faith. I've begun a good work in you, and I will complete it. So now I declare over you, peace, be still. Anxiety, leave. Fear, bow. Doubt, fall silent. The presence of the living God is resting on you even now. You may feel warmth in your chest. You may feel the tears begin to fall. That's me. That's my spirit. I'm closer than the air around you. I'm holding every piece of you in my hands. You are safe. You are seen. You are secure. Let me pray over you now. Yes, even through this screen, I can reach you. I declare healing over your heart. Healing from the trauma, the betrayal, the years you thought were wasted. I speak peace into every storm inside your mind. I speak clarity where confusion has taken root. I speak freedom where fear has built walls. I speak life into places that have been dead for too long. I speak hope into the dry bones of your dreams. May your soul rise again. May your eyes lift again. May your faith burn again. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. I am still here. And I will never leave. Now, my beloved, if this message touched your heart, it wasn't from a human voice. It was from heaven. It was me. Let this be your moment of return. Your moment of remembrance. Your moment of revival. Don't scroll away too quickly. Let this sit with you. Let the silence after these words be holy ground. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be still, be still. I am in the stillness. And if this spoke to you, share it. Not because you owe me anything, but because someone else is sitting in the dark right now, praying the same prayer you once did, God, please speak to me. You could be the light that leads them home. You could be the hand that brings them to me. Comment Amen if you received this. Not for attention, but as a declaration. Let faith rise in this place. Let hope fill this space. You're not alone. You never were. You never will be. I am with you, always, even to the very end of the age. This is your turning point. And I, the Lord your God, am walking into it with you.